You're tuned in to Nerd Overload, your weekly pop and geek culture show covering movies, TV, games, and comics. Now your hosts, Cody Pinnick, Sam Dunham, and Josh Harrison.
Hey everybody, welcome to Nerd Overload, the pop and... I just had an intro, but I lost it, much like last week's show. I am a two-time award-winning indie game tastemaker, Cody.
I'm Sam.
I'm a pancake connoisseur, Josh.
I'm Samantha.
Oh, we have a great show for you this week. Thank you all for tuning in. We have a bunch of news, but first let's talk about some things we've been checking out.
Check it out!
And we should have a lot of things to check out because it's been, well, at this point, 3 weeks. I mean, some of it's going to be reruns. Yeah, we lost last week's show. Catastrophic technical issues lost last week's show.
The gremlins in the system ate the show.
This one's real, I promise.
So, I went to Origins because I won an award for a game that I made.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, I made a game called A Sketchy Quest. You can play it if you want. It's at my itch.io page, cthomaspennick.itch.io. It's there. It's a little platformer that's like a Mario, but if everything was pen and pencil drawings.
It's a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's very good. Definitely well worth the award. So what did you win the award for?
Best in Show for the Game Jam, which everybody had, I think it was 2 weeks to make a game. That's what I came up with in 2 weeks.
And the theme was like erase,
Yeah,
right?
The theme was erase. So I went with your little pen drawing stick figure that can carry an eraser around and erase things.
Yeah, and it is. It's really clever. I like it a lot. And again, congratulations.
Thank you. Origins was cool. Board game. Well, technically it's Origins and GDEX now. GDEX is the indie games show that they used to do by itself, but now it's part of Origins, which I'd never been to Origins before. It was neat. A lot of board game stuff.
Sure.
A lot.
A lot of board game stuff. And a little bit of video game stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes me kind of miss when GDEX was by itself because it was more focused on the indie game aspect. And it kind of gets lost in the hustle and bustle that is Origins because it's enormous.
Oh, yeah. I know Origins is huge.
Yeah, every other con I've been to at the Columbus Convention Center usually just has one room. Mm-hmm. Origins has both rooms opened up,
Wow.
so it's gigantic.
And it's not just those rooms. It's all like the side ancillary rooms, too.
Yeah.
You got like Catan tournaments in this room. You've got this one room dedicated to like video games where like people are playing Smash and all kinds of other stuff like that. And
It's one giant ticket to ride for some reason.
there is like giant like King of Tokyo and stuff.
Oh, nice.
That's how I learned to play.
If you're going to go to next year's, I would bring like 3 to 4 friends with you so you can try out the board game so you don't have to play them with strangers. Because that doesn't sound appealing to me.
Social anxiety.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
It's not a good time if you've got social anxiety.
I feel like that's any convention.
Yeah.
But I can see where you're coming from because like it puts you definitely in a more social setting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Having to interact with complete strangers.
And every dude at every booth wants to explain to you how their game works.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, no, I just want to look at the pretty pieces that you have here.
Yeah, they gotta explain their pitch.
Yeah.
There's already enough of that at like regular conventions. Like I remember going to an indie PopCon a few years ago, and they had a board game and card game like section, and it was like 20 minutes. One guy was talking to me about his board game, and I'm like, it sounds neat. I'm not dropping $120.
Yeah. Oh, they had so many copies of the Stardew Valley board game, and I wanted it so bad.
Oh, nice.
So tempting.
Yeah. It does seem like a good place to buy games. The prices seemed fair.
Oh yeah. Man, everything is pretty much like sticker price. Sometimes you can get lucky. Sometimes you can get like Kickstarter exclusives, deluxe editions that are really hard to get. That's how I got my my deluxe edition of Cogs and Commissars. which is a weird little card game with communist robots.
Yeah, I didn't buy anything because when you buy a house, you lose a lot of your spending power.
Oh yeah, no, makes sense. Yeah, I get that.
It's not like we don't know anything about that at all, there, Cody. You're kind of late to the party on that one.
Yeah, but it was cool. I would go back again next year.
Yeah, for sure.
It's especially nice when you get comped a ticket.
That does help. Yes.
Thanks, GDEX.
All right, so hey, thing I've been checking out. Watching a couple shows. I talked about it on the Lost show, but
The Lost episode.
the Lost episode. There's been a couple of Lost episodes, but I've been watching a lot of classic Iron Chef, the original Japanese dubbed Iron Chef. I won't go into it too much. It's just a very good wind down
Comfort watch.
You know exactly what's going to happen when it's going to happen. Like it hits the same beats at about the same time.
You could say it's almost like your comfort food.
Ah,
It's like that sword one we were watching the other day.
Forged in Fire.
Forged in Fire is a
Fire.
good one. Yeah, that's a really good comfort show.
That one dude's knife was so ugly.
It was really
That was
bad.
an awful knife.
I tell you, another show that is a real comfort show, and this is going to sound weird. Have you ever watched any of the old Perry Masons? Like
No.
with
Nope.
But
Raymond Burr?
I can see where you're coming from with that one.
I know of it, but I mostly know it from the Ozzy song.
At 8 minutes till the end of the episode, that is when the twist always happens and Perry wins the case. Every time. Like the first 15 to 20 minutes is the crime happening, and then it's Perry Mason, someone gets arrested, and by all accounts they look like they're guilty, and they call Perry Mason and say, hey, I'm having a pre-trial to see if this is worth being an actual trial. We need the world's best lawyer in LA. And Perry Mason's like, I'm on the case. And at 8 minutes till, every single episode, without fail, Perry does something that twists the whole thing around, and it forces the actual guilty party to confess their crimes.
To reveal themselves.
It's like the Goldbergs. In the third act, two people will hug.
Yes.
Every time. Without fail. In
Like
the third act.
like you were sitting there
Yeah.
like talking about it, and it just made me think of like Law and Order.
It's
how
a very-
everything is super formula.
Oh, yeah. 28 minutes of law, and then like 26 minutes of order. It's like an even split.
First you have the duh, and then you have the
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah.
Well, everybody knows the most formulaic show of all time is Phineas and Ferb.
Oh, yeah.
The same things happen in every episode, but they twist them up in such a way that it is funny and entertaining.
See, that's good. That's good. But no, yeah, I think comfort shows are like, exactly, when you jump in, exactly where they're at, what's going to happen. Boom, 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 boom. One after
it hits
the
the
other.
beats.
It hits the beats.
Like House.
Yeah, like House. House is a comfort show, I would say.
Yeah.
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 And it's never lupus. Except for
Except
that one
time
episode when it was,
where
when
lupus.
I don't think House holds up as well in the his attitude doesn't come off as like I'm a fun snarky guy. Like now it's just like you're kind of a jerk.
Yeah, okay, most
is
of
fair.
House doesn't hold up except for his accent. His accent holds up. I still say that what's his name?
Hugh Laurie.
has the best British to American conversion accent.
It's better than
that-
Benedict Cumberbatch.
You're telling me.
Hey, you leave cucumber fish sticks alone, all right?
Hello, I am an American doctor man.
I am the Doctor Strange.
One
But not but
hamburger.
Yeah, I'll have one hamburger.
Panther.
The other show I've been watching is I started Letterkenny. I'm about 8 seasons behind on this show, but it's only like 60 episodes. There's not a whole lot of it out there.
Did you do Schitt's Creek? Speaking of Canadian television,
I haven't watched that one yet.
It's very good.
Yeah.
It's funny.
It's a good show.
Yeah, I know. I need to. I need to watch that.
I think
one.
I'm like, I don't know,
starts off kind of.
I'm like 6 episodes in, I think.
Yeah, it takes a little bit to really get really good.
Mm-hmm.
Not so bad that you're like, why am I watching this garbage?
It's just
Yeah.
kind of like, this isn't as good as people say. Why do people love this?
I would say a similar is with Letterkenny, honestly.
Yeah, you need time for their personalities to simmer.
Yep,
Yeah,
exactly.
That's exactly right.
They're figuring it out at the same time you are, type of thing.
Yeah,
Always
but,
Sunny is kind of the same way.
Always Sunny is the same way.
Oh yeah.
I would almost say Letterkenny is kind of always Sunny, but in Canada, and way more dialogue focused instead of action focused.
It's Trailer Park Boys for another area of Canada.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, I mean the whole thing is you're in rural. It's set in a town, a fictional town in rural Canada, and you follow a couple of farmers from the town. But instead of having like King of the Hill type speech or stereotypical depictions of hillbillies,
rural people,
yeah. That's really hard to say. Rural.
Rural.
I mean, there's a whole joke on 30 Rock about the rural juror.
The rural juror.
The rural juror. But the joke is that they are extremely verbose and eloquent in what they say. Their dialogue is so dense
and articulate
and packed so
and
thick.
quick.
Yeah, the jokes are so quick. It's definitely one of those situations where if you miss a joke, that's fine. Another one's coming in 5 seconds.
And you'll laugh and miss a joke because you're laughing.
Yeah, you'll want to. It's definitely a show you want to like roll back. And as much as I like this show so far, I think it works better in 2 to 3 minute YouTube clips of situations.
Oh, like
instead of like a whole show, because that's where the show got its start. It was a YouTube thing, Letterkenny problems.
Yeah,
and
the episodes I've watched, the plots are not why you come.
Their plots are definitely not there. It's the extremely verbose, very quick.
It could get better later, though. I don't know.
Yeah. And I mean, from what I understand, the plots, there is like a through line a little bit, but not so much. It's really for those situation kind of joke. But it's fun. I like it. It's enjoyable.
I'm glad you like it. I've heard a lot of people like it. What little clips you were watching when I walked in, I genuinely laughed.
Yeah. And I can't tell any of the jokes because they're so one, because they're kind of filthy, and 2, they're so dense that it doesn't play.
Like when they were talking about wrestling. And then,
the wrestling.
They use like all their names as puns
all the
for the conversation.
Names, yeah. There's a lot of pun work. It's very punny, and they do that quite a few times. At one point, they're meeting Squirrely Dan's girlfriend for the first time, and she says, "Hey, gonna go get you guys a drink. Do you like beer?" And Wayne, the main guy, and his girlfriend, back and forth, are like throwing in like Michelob, Bud Light, all this stuff, but working it into the conversation, like it's using it in a different way. Like, yeah, like, yeah, you can go get me a beer, Bud Light, and I don't know, I can't tell the jokes because they're so dense and tough to tell. But really enjoyable, really like it.
We caught up on Stranger Things until the new episodes that came out today. But
how was it?
It's good. It was like I was burnt out on it like the previous season, and it took me a while to get back caught up. Well, we were like 3 or 4 episodes away from finishing the second season, I think. But we got all caught up and watched it up until the last couple that they're doing now. It reminded me why I liked the show in the first place.
Oh, okay, cool.
I didn't like they reveal who the big bad is before the end, and the reveal I thought didn't feel earned. Or not earned. It just like the character's motivations felt stupid and jokery.
Gotcha.
A very we live in a society reveal.
Okay.
That I don't want to spoil it, obviously.
Yeah,
it's
don't
brand
spoil it.
new.
Yeah.
But I just didn't like that aspect. It felt like, oh, I'm the Joker here.
Weird, huh?
Kind of remind me of the episode of Rick and Morty when he's running around with that superhero team. And he's like, "Oh, super serious. Oh, gotta be." He's like going down the hallway with like a finger gun.
But the characters are all so lovable and good that it weathers any sort of plotting issue that it has.
Bad writing, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I still haven't never watched an episode of Stranger Things.
It's good. It's almost a comfort show if it wasn't also a frightening sci-fi show also.
So I'm assuming you still haven't caught up on Obi-Wan yet?
No, we did watch one more episode.
So that puts you like what?
2 away, I think.
2 behind.
We're also caught up on Ms. Marvel. There was a new one of those this week that was also good.
Good?
She goes to Pakistan.
Oh,
so
nice.
that's cool. I mean, they do that in the comics too, I guess.
Yeah.
But it continues to be a good show and different from the other Marvel shows, and people should watch it. Yeah, it's cute. She's a good character. The actress that plays her is funny and good.
Oh, awesome. Good. I'm glad it continues to be good.
I was talking to them earlier about this anime that we watched, and I tried to like it so much, but like it's a horror anime called Miruku-chan, and it like translates to like the girl who can see them or something, and it's about a girl who can see ghosts.
Okay.
And
sounds familiar. Sounds like a movie I've watched once.
yeah, I mean there's plenty of things in media where people can see ghosts.
Yeah.
But
The Sixth Sense.
That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the joke.
But she's like just like a normal high school girl that I don't know, just for some reason, because I didn't get far enough in the show to figure out why, she can see ghosts. And these ghosts are legitimately terrifying looking. Like they're legit scary looking. Like it's really unsettling to look at them and the way they move and they talk and stuff like that.
Good monster design.
It is very good monster designs. But the thing that really, 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 switched me off of the show is the copious amounts of really unnecessary fan service.
Oh, sure.
And it just ruined it for me.
Like the TNA and like that stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was
Well,
like,
you'll have that.
especially in anime.
Yeah, you'll definitely have that.
And I'm like, I wanted to like this show, and I watched like, I don't know, 3-4 episodes of it, and I was like, I can't take it anymore. I'm done. And it's, I don't know, like the monster designs were legitimately interesting and creepy, and
they ruined it.
yeah, and they ruined it. They ruined it for me with drivel.
Yep.
Things to sell body pillows. But anyway.
Yeah. Waifu bait.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've seen worse, but I've also seen much, much better.
There's a time and a place for it, and it sounds like this wasn't the place for it.
No, because it seemed really unnecessary at a lot of times.
If your show is about that, then by all means
That's
have
one
that.
thing, yeah.
But if your
Like
show,
like Kill la Kill, where it's actually written into the show.
yeah.
Yeah.
But if your show has cool ghosts and monsters in it, don't weigh it down with that.
Underwear.
Yeah, with underwear and then jiggle physics.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it just ruined it for me. It made me sad. I was like, ugh, I really wanted to like that show.
It's like the second episode of Dress Up Darling that I'm sure will scare several people away from Dress Up Darling. But you should power through it because the rest of it is pretty good.
Or like the second episode of Goblin Slayer.
Oh God, that's a different thing.
Yeah, that is
not,
a different thing.
That's not fan service. That's a different thing.
No, it is awful.
Okay, walking the line.
Yeah, I know.
Walking the line. You played the new Capcom
Yes.
Fighting because I have as well.
Oh, okay.
We can talk about this.
All right.
What do you think of the new Capcom Fighting Collection?
I'm bad at it. I'm really, really bad at it.
I tell you what, I didn't realize how rusty I was at fighting games. I'm starting to knock off the rust a little bit. I played through a little bit of Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting, and I went through a round of Red Earth.
I tried them all a little bit. I'd play like a couple matches, get my butt handed to me by the computer, and I'm like, all right, try a new one. Red Earth, that's the one with the lion guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I did
In
play.
Japan, it's called Warzard.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
Like,
different name.
It's a better name.
It's a better name.
Dare I say a better name?
I agree. It's one of the two Capcom games that 2 or 3 Capcom games that came out for the CPS3 board. That's the same one that Third Strike is on. It's
And it's never had a home release.
It's never
in
had
America until now.
Okay.
yeah.
I liked Red Earth. I was playing as Leo, the lion guy.
The Lion King man.
Yeah, the lion. He's literally a Lion
He's
King
the Lion
man.
King. Yes.
And I liked it. It was interesting. I feel like I did better on that one than a couple of the other ones. I also played. I went through a few rounds of the mech fighting one.
Oh, Cybots.
Cybots, yes.
Cybots is good.
Yeah.
Cybots is really good.
I thought it was interesting in how you could damage particular parts of your opponent and but your weapons could also overheat and things like that.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting. I really liked.
It's no Virtual On though.
No. I liked.
They need to make a new one of those.
I remember the first
I agree.
time I ever played Virtual On, it was in the arcade, and I was like, "What is this?" And then I think I found one on the Dreamcast.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
speaking of Dreamcast, have you ever noticed that on the back of the robots is a Dreamcast?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
do the same thing in Sonic Adventure. There's some bosses that have Dreamcasts on
Oh,
them.
nice.
I only know that because of SGDQ, which has been going on. The Summer Games Done Quick.
Oh, yeah, that is happening.
It should still be going on when this goes live, I think. So you should watch it and donate money. They raise money for Doctors Without Borders. I almost said Military Sans Frontières, but that's Metal Gear.
What?
That's Military Without Borders. That's Big Boss's army that he starts.
Really needs money.
Yeah, and he needs money so he can feed D-Dog.
Oh, Metal Gear. Anyway, I played Street Puzzle Fighter.
Oh, yeah. Puzzle Fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the
But
first
not.
one.
It's not Puzzle Fighter because it's not the puzzle game. It's the fighting game.
No.
Super
They're
Gem
both
Fighter.
Super Gem Fighter.
Gem
They're both on there, though.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I played
Yeah.
the puzzle one.
The puzzle one's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah,
Both of 'em. I like
really
both
liked
of
it.
'em.
And then I played the fighting one. And I was like, this doesn't feel like a puzzle game.
It's
It's just
not.
it's just Chibi Street Fighter with gems falling off
Yeah.
of you.
I like it.
yeah.
Oh no, I was doing.
Dan is OP in that game.
I was Zangief, and I thought it was really funny when you do the one move and he pulls out a chair and puts on a luchador mask.
Oh, yeah. All of the characters transform into different
Things.
for their different moves because it's a comedy game.
Yeah.
Felicia from Darkstalkers,
The cat. Yeah.
the cat lady, certain attacks turn her into Mega Man, and she has like
Yeah.
a Buster Shot and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. It's a good game.
Yeah, I went through and I played most of them. Well, I didn't play all the iterations of Vampire Savior / Hunter / Darkstalkers.
Darkstalkers. Yeah.
I played the first one, got my butt kicked really bad, and I was like, man, I used to be really good at this game. What is going on? Other than the fact that I haven't played a fighting game since, I don't know, at least 6-7 years ago when you and I played Street Fighter at 16-bit and you whooped me so hard.
Whipped you so hard you never picked up another fighting.
No. And I used to play them all the time.
Yeah. Well, when you come at the champ,
the cream of the crop.
cream of
always
the crop, you best
rise
not
into the
miss.
top.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. No, I enjoyed it a lot. I've actually spent a lot of time going through just the museum section of the cart because it has a bunch of art and a lot of original art for a lot of the games. Because oddly enough, not a whole lot of art done for Red Earth, a game that was never released into home consoles and never released outside of Japan, or had very limited release outside of Japan. Not a lot of art out there, so they did a lot of really cool artwork and digital spreads and stuff like that.
The
It's really
cover
cool.
the cover on the box kind of made me laugh a little bit, and I think it's more like a juxtaposition of the title on the packaging and the background image, but that you see Leo's face and then somebody's hand is reaching up and it looks like somebody is scratching his chin.
Someone's scratching his chin. Yeah,
Petting the kitty.
yeah.
I'm sitting there like looking at the box. I'm like, what is this? What am I looking at here?
Yeah.
It's really, I mean, I'm sure the image by itself looks interesting, but with the big title
It looks
across
really
the,
cool, but yeah, and the cropped version. It
it
kinda
looks
goofy.
dumb.
Yeah. If you play any of the Street Fighter 2 Super Turbo version, has an easy Akuma select. It's a really, instead of having to put in the full Akuma code, you just go to Ryu and like press up once and he's there. So like a lot of like hidden characters and a lot of like quality of life stuff, it's they've made it easier for a home console.
Yeah.
I also like the training mode for every game. These are all arcade ports and they've added training modes to all of them. It's really, really cool.
This game this release did make me sit there and think. I'm like, I wonder if they did a arcade stick for the Switch.
Yes.
Oh,
Because I have it.
oh,
Yeah, 8-Bit Dough did one, and it's solid. It's a really good stick.
I had
and it's under $100, I think. At this point.
I had something from 8-Bit Dough. I think it was the GameCube controller receiver for the Switch.
Yeah.
That I bought when Smash Brothers came out.
They use the same receiver, but it plugs into their stick, fight stick peripheral, and it's it's pretty solid. It's pretty good.
Yeah, because I thought about it. I'm sitting there playing it on my controller, and I'm like, I wonder if I would be better with an actual arcade stick on this.
It is learning arcade stick is so difficult. Like if you've spent your entire life playing on like pad, and then you go, oh man, stick, you can get, I'll be so much better at this. No, it's like learning all over again. It's tough.
Yeah, I kept meaning to go back and go through the training mode and actually get good instead of trying to brute force button mash my way through.
Sometimes button mashing's the best way to do it.
I mean that's how I was doing in Cybots actually.
Yeah.
But in like Street Fighter, I was actually like legitimately trying to do combos and stuff. I'm like, I know how to do Hadouken.
You do combo?
No, I do combo bad. I do combo bad.
The only thing that I can't do in most fighting games, I can't consistently get 360 motions to come out.
Happens to a lot of guys.
Well, yeah, there are a lot of people that are really good with Zangief, and I just can't get his 360 motion to get his command throws out. I just can't do it. I don't know why. I always end up botching it and jumping straight up in the air and then get hit really hard because he's big.
That was a lot of stuff for me too. Like I was sitting there trying to do combos, and I'm trying to swoop the stick up or whatever, and I just keep jumping, and I keep getting like aerial kicked or like uppercutted into oblivion.
Yeah.
And I was like, Same thing happened when I was playing Darkstalkers. I was playing Sasquatch.
Oh yeah, no,
and I was like,
that's a problem. Yeah, you always want to start with the Shotos. You want to start with your Ryu. You want to start with your Donovan. Donovan's moveset is identical to Ryu.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I didn't realize this till I saw it in like a Did You Know Gaming or something the other day. Mario's moveset in Smash Brothers is Ryu's.
He's a Shoto. He's a If he were in a regular fighting game, it would be down to direction punch.
Downright fierce punch.
Yeah.
Mostly I remember that because of a joke I saw on a t-shirt.
Yep.
Downright fierce, yeah.
Yes, I'm downright fierce.
Downright fierce. Yep. All right, let's go ahead and take a break here, and when we come back, we'll get into some news.
Hadouken!
Hi, everyone. I'm Greg Dunham, the host of Long Play here on WZMO. Long Play is a show that appeals to music lovers of all ages. Here's an example.
I love Long Play.
There you have it. A completely unsolicited endorsement for one of our youngest fans.
Grandpa, where's my candy?
Ellie, be cool.
Grandpa!
Ellie and I would like to invite you to tune into Long Play every Friday at 11 p.m. and Saturday at 3 p.m. right here on 104.7
WCMO.
Hey, we're back from the break, and before we get into news, we're going to do something that we don't do very often on the show. We've threatened it. We've threatened it for the last couple of weeks that we had voicemails. And we're actually going to play them this week instead of waiting to the end of the show and going, oh no! So instead of the news, we're going to start with a little bit of mail.
Mailbag Day! Mailbag Day! Hey everybody, it's Mailbag Day!
A new memory unlocked, I'm sure, for some people.
Josh will remember this.
Yes. Yeah. All right, so let's play the first one here.
Hi guys, this is Chad, long-time yabbler, first-time dabbler. I just wanted to bring up 2 points from your show last week. First having to do with the Marvel Multiverse, and the second having to do with E3. The Marvel Multiverse, I think, I personally am happy that we now have movies and other media that do play together to form a kind of long storytelling that people can appreciate for getting into it. I know I have a few friends who suffer from burnout, like you guys expressed. And it seems to me that more neurodivergent folks like myself tend to like the longer media that has the same faces instead of, just rebooting a series or telling non-connected stories within the same universe. We've kind of been tired of that. But E3, I think E3 honestly is going away because of shows that have risen up in its place like PAX that are a lot more fan-oriented. And E3 has been trying to orient itself to a fandom over the past years, but they really haven't done a good job. Like you were saying, it just becomes commercials and a fake award show. And so shows like Penny Arcade Expo and others of that ilk have risen up in its place and taken it over because they are more geared toward the fan experience instead of just providing a showcase for companies to put the products in. So take care, guys. Can't wait to hear the next episode, and have a good one.
Yeah, thank you for the call.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go through these. I mean, it's been a few weeks since we've touched on this topic, so I'm trying to remember what we were talking about.
I'm glad to see Yabble Dabble catching on, setting the world on fire.
That's right.
Yeah.
My hip new catchphrase.
Yeah, as soon as he said it, you made a look, and I wanted to punch you in your face.
Yabble Dabble.
There it is.
Now it's a kick.
So anyway, yeah. So to your points, I would also say that I do prefer if we're going to have continuing storylines in these Marvel movies to see the same faces pop up instead of constant recasting. I just don't know if everything has to be as interconnected as, like, not everything has to tie into every single other thing. Sometimes you can't just do a good standalone story. And
they have been better about that.
And they've gotten better
lately.
about it. Yeah, they really have.
But there's still elements there where, like, it's kind of it gets hard to recover from. What do we call it that one time? Like superhero fatigue?
Yeah, burnout, fatigue, that sort of thing. Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love superhero stories. I've always been a big comic fan, watched all the cartoons and stuff when I was a kid, watched every movie I could, despite how many different people played Bruce Wayne or this, that, and the other.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. But also at the same time, it is a daunting task if you've missed something or missed a few things to try to catch up to figure out what's going on.
That is the kind of the double-edged sword with that is, interconnectivity is great, but if you miss one, you play hell catching up with it.
Yeah, you're getting blue shelled at the finish line.
Basically, yeah.
Well, yeah, it's like, comics are that way, and that's the way that the comic movies are headed, I guess.
Yeah, and that I think that is a little bit of an issue because I was listening to another podcast earlier today. I know, right? Sacrilege, but they were describing
This is not a podcast. This is a radio show.
This is a radio show. I was listening to a podcast earlier today, and so the podcast, surprise, surprise, about Power Rangers, but I'm going to make a point. I'm going to make a point about this. They had a guest on, and they were talking about. Before getting into reviewing the episode that they were going to do, they were talking about the comics a little bit, and the person made a very good salient point that Power Rangers comics in particular, but it's going the same way as other comic series are going, in that it's gotten to the point where they stopped trying to tell interesting stories and have just tried to tell. They're only referencing previous comics, like. Well, like, for example, Jeff Johns went through DC Comics, and just about every comic that he wrote, it was not like its own standalone thing. It was like, why was this one panel set, back in the 70s? Why was it written this way? Well, now I'm going to tell a story referencing that entire panel. And the Marvel movies are starting to get that way as well, where it's not where they're leaning less into telling interesting standalone stories and more into, well, you know what? Black Widow is a perfect example of this because they could have done. I mean, Black Widow itself is it's a solid movie, but the whole movie was to explain why she had red hair in one movie and then had blonde hair the next movie.
I was surprised how not connected Doctor Strange was.
Yeah.
It was connected, but not as much as you would have thought.
And that's good.
Yeah.
And I think that's good. I think interconnectivity, when it's not in service to the main overarching story, like a Thanos Infinity Stone thing.
Yeah, the Infinity Saga.
They should leave the interconnectivity at a minimum, like Easter egg kind of thing, and not like make it the whole point. Like it seems like this new Thor movie, the whole first act is going to be tied directly into the Guardians of the Galaxy. So all of a sudden you need to know what happened.
Well,
you need to know why Thor was fat for a while, which means you have to watch the Infinity Saga movies.
Or at least the last
You have
two.
to know, you have to find out who the Guardians of the Galaxy are and their extended cast outside of, so it kind of, I don't know if I'm explaining it well.
No, you are.
But I think interconnectivity between movies when it's not in service to the entire story should be left at a minimum.
Yeah.
Just kind of go, oh, I recognize that thing, and then move on.
I mean, unlike the first Thor movie, when you're bringing in Thor movies, the first Thor movie had a scene where they're walking through Odin's vault, and there are a ton of Easter eggs in the background, but it's mostly just stuff for comic fans because none of this stuff...
It's like blink and you miss it kind of stuff.
It was stuff that they're referencing that they didn't even know they were going to use yet.
Right.
Like...
That's why they had to retcon it later.
Yeah, that's why they had to
Say a lot
retcon it
of
in
that
Ragnarok.
Stuff was fake.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, oh, the Infinity Gauntlet was fake. It's not the real Infinity Gauntlet. Stuff like that. Or like the Collector's menagerie in the first Guardians of the Galaxy. Like you see like Adam Warlock's cocoon and this,
Howard
that,
the Duck.
and Howard the Duck.
Who hasn't shown... Well, no, he did show back up since then. He's in What If a lot.
He is.
Stuff like that. But ever since everything really, really started rolling, there is a connection to everything.
Yeah.
Which can be extremely rewarding for the constant
Devout fan.
The devout
yes.
fan.
Yeah, but there's got to be a line where it stops being rewarding, it starts being daunting for the not obsessive.
And that's how I feel
watcher.
like it is now.
Yes. I think they've swung a little bit too far in that direction.
And and then other companies like DC, where they tried to swing too hard and
too
fast
and play catch up. Mm-hmm. And now some of the best movies they put out aren't even connected to their stuff.
Right.
Like the Batman.
There's a lot of different reasons for that.
Well, yes.
Sure.
We should probably get on to the next voicemail.
Yeah. Oh, we should mention something about the E3. Yeah, I think I think E3 is probably going to go away and it's going to be replaced by some of these independent shows like Sony did or whatever. Well, kind of like what they did this year.
Jeffy's game.
Yeah, Jeffy's game games times. That sort of thing.
Maybe we could get like a proper Nintendo Direct, please.
That would be nice.
That would be nice. Yeah, a couple weeks probably. Probably a month. I'd say a month.
2 months, next year.
I hadn't heard anyone call PAX Penny Arcade Expo in so long.
I know. I was confused when he said it. I was like, what is that?
I forgot that was even their thing.
But also that's the thing when he talks about conventions springing up in its place. PAX has been going on for a long time. So I don't think it's so much it sprung up and took its place. It's been going on alongside for a long time.
But more and more game companies are showing off their stuff, first looks and that sort of thing.
That's true.
At PAX now, which is kind of taking its place in that sense, I suppose.
Is San Diego Comic-Con happening this year?
It's already happened.
Has it?
Yeah.
Man, am I really?
There was nothing. There was nothing to talk about with it. Literally nothing.
COVID killed E3 and made everybody realize that we can just do our own thing and it's cheaper.
And do it online.
And we can get all of the attention if we do it at our own time.
Yeah, basically. That's
true.
That's exactly right.
That's a good point. I like the fact that them spreading it out instead of over just a course of 2 or 3 days. Okay, we're getting sloughed in news here.
Yeah.
At 4 o'clock we've got Sony, and then at 6 o'clock we've got Microsoft and this, that, and the other.
Devolver's going to do their weird show in the corner.
Which they still did this year.
And it was great.
Yeah.
It was super good.
It was really good.
Mecha Suda 51.
Yeah.
Yeah.
who wasn't even there he didn't even have a game or anything
He
to
didn't.
announce.
Yeah,
He was just there.
Yeah, he was just there to count down and be the face of a robot. That's all. It was great.
Oh, Suda51, you crazy, crazy man.
All right, so we have another voicemail here, so let's go ahead and play that.
What's up, nerds? It's your favorite dummy here. It's DJ. Hey, I wanted to say that I, for one, am intrigued. I don't know, maybe a little excited for the Spinal Tap 2, the sequel. I love Spinal Tap. I watch it several times a year. But what I wanted to ask you guys is, what Rob Reiner flick needs a sequel or a remake? Which one do you think? I don't know. Princess Bride, When Harry Met Sally. I don't know. Let's see what you guys think. Later, nerds.
And that was BJ from the Teach a Dummy podcast, past guest on the show.
Yeah.
So
Good dude.
Yeah, very good dude. So Rob Reiner films that need sequels.
I think you could tell a million stories in the Princess Bride universe that don't necessarily have to be connected to
Sure.
that story.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, there's
I
the
agree.
whole thing where Inigo is going to become the new Dread Pirate Roberts. I mean, there's stories there.
You can absolutely tell stories. You can, at this point, you could tell a story of Buttercup and Wesley's kid.
Yeah.
And
do the Pirates of the Caribbean 5 with it.
Why not? Yeah, if you really wanted to do something like that.
That world is ripe for a franchise, which sounds dirty and wrong.
It does sound dirty and wrong, doesn't it?
Yeah, see, that's the thing with a lot of Rob Reiner's stuff. A lot of it is pretty iconic when filmmaking.
It's like
that it's also fairly self-contained.
It's like Mel Brooks stuff.
Yeah.
It's like Mel Brooks stuff.
Yeah, you don't really need a sequel because it tells the story that it wants to tell.
Like I don't
when Harry divorced Sally.
I would actually like to see it When Harry Met Sally too.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I like When Harry Met Sally.
I've never seen it.
It's a solid. I mean, it's a romantic comedy. I mean,
a lot of his
but
stuff's
it's-
romantic comedy.
Yeah, but it's.
Didn't he do Sleepless in Seattle?
Did Rob Reiner
I believe so.
Did he direct Splash?
He may have directed
Hold on.
Splash.
I'll look it up. I'm pulling it up now.
Yeah.
Because that has a sequel.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah,
it's not good.
It was straight to VHS, but maybe give that another shot. Maybe do another
Take
Splash.
another swing at it.
Yeah.
I mean, we can go old school and have him act in a sequel to All in the Family 2. Play Meathead once again. Yeah, I'm trying to remind myself what are some of the things that he has done.
He hasn't done a lot. I mean, it seems like as the years have gone on, he's done less and less.
Well, when you have a giant hit.
Yeah,
he directed the 2010. Oh no, that's Flipped. I thought it said Flipper. I thought he directed that Flipper movie from the 90s. How about a sequel to Misery?
Oh, there we go. Misery 2, Still Miserable?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
A sequel to Stand By Me.
They go to find another dead body, and surprise, it's Wesley Crusher.
Stand By Me again. Shh. That's about all the...
Yeah.
A few more good men.
He wrote one episode of Happy Days.
You can't really do a sequel to The Bucket List, unfortunately. Because that's... Spoiler, that's kind of how it kind of ends with at least one of their deaths. But I would say, honestly, I would say When Harry Met Sally. I think you could probably do a pretty interesting...
Their kids find the bucket list, and there's more items on it they didn't do. And now to honor their parents' lives, they have to complete the other things on the list.
Bucket List 2, still bucketing.
Yeah.
All right.
2 bucket, 2 list.
You're killing me.
2 kids, 1 bucket list.
No. Bad.
I mean, this list is
I'm
hard.
taking Samantha's role in this, and I'm telling you that was bad.
Go to jail.
You go to jail. You go to prison.
Okay, thanks for the voicemails, everybody.
Yeah, I appreciate the voicemails. Yeah.
Give us a call on the hotline, 586-372-8020, and we can play your voicemail on the show like those lucky individuals.
Yeah.
And we'll get to it faster this
We'll
time.
get to it faster the next time, we promise. All right, let's go ahead and get into some news.
there was a Nintendo Direct this week. It was for third-party games, so no Nintendo first-party stuff, no Marios or Zeldas. But darn if it wasn't a really good one.
It was pretty solid. Yeah.
Usually the partner directs are absolutely nothing to write home
they're
about.
boring.
Yeah, this one actually had some fun stuff in it. My personal favorite, Monkey Island, Return to Monkey Island, got an actual trailer like with gameplay.
Pretty solid. Yeah.
It looks very good. I'm very excited. Not a lot of people have a differing opinion apparently.
Some people don't like the art style of it, or something like that.
It's got a very conflicting art style, I guess. So much so that series creator Ron Gilbert has said he's done talking about it on the internet because it's not fun anymore.
Oh, well, there you go.
Which is a bummer. Thanks a lot,
yeah,
guys.
That is a bummer. I was going to say that it does kind of look like those old Aaron Esurance commercials a little bit.
I mean, kind of.
Yeah,
but I always like those.
I like the animation style in those, but I remember those also being fairly conflicting for art style and many other reasons.
And it looks good in motion too. A lot of people were angry when there were stills, and that I think it looks even better in motion. And also it's not that important for the game. Like the writing is what's important for the game, and I'm sure it's going to be very good.
Yeah, as long as the writing's there, because that's where the bread and butter of the
with those point and click adventure style games.
If the puzzles are good and the writing's good,
you don't play it for the gripping gameplay.
Right.
You play it for the smart writing and the good jokes.
Yeah. Yep. Let's see. One of the ones that I liked. Well, I mean, we didn't really watch it beforehand because it was really long, but I actually liked the Monster Hunter's Sunbreak.
Yeah, that looks really good.
DLC. Yeah, it looked pretty solid. I'm not a huge Monster Hunter guy, but some of the designs on the monsters that you hunt, pretty solid.
And it's interesting to see it take this medieval England direction instead of the whatever it was before.
Feudal Japan.
Weirdo feudal Japan kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it looked really, really good.
I would have played a lot more Monster Hunter if somebody didn't lose their cartridge to it, so we can't play multiplayer anymore.
Me too. You think I wanted to lose it?
It was fun to play multiplayer.
It was.
Watch, you'll find it in a year or two.
We've moved since then, multiple times, so it's gone forever.
Some kid found it, traded it into GameStop for 25 cents.
So, what are some of the other games? We can't really go through every single one of them, but let's just hit some highlights.
I thought Harvestella looks cool. It's Square Enix does Stardew Valley, but with their art style and production values.
Yeah, a lot of farming, a lot of monster hunting.
Yeah, I mean, it looks neat.
It does.
It's interesting to see. It's always good when Square tries something new.
Yeah.
Well, I don't. It's not always good, but it's always interesting.
That's a good way of putting it. Yes, I agree.
Like I said when we were watching the clip, I like the text thingies because it reminded me of Final Fantasy Tactics, and I always really liked that art style. Still probably one of my favorite Final Fantasy games.
What else was there? There was that little artsy Blanc, a game about
the wolf and the deer,
a baby deer and a baby wolf going on a little homeward bound adventure together.
In all black and white.
I don't know. I'm kind of tired of this kind of game. It's an emotional tale.
It's an emotional journey. You'll learn things about yourself through the eyes of this tiny deer and wolf.
Yeah.
It's I know it's for someone. It is not for me.
It's published by Gearbox, which is weird. That's so outside of their wheelhouse. I don't know who
it's not a Borderlands.
Yeah. I don't know who actually made it because I doubt it was them.
I very much doubt it was them.
But it's weird to see them publish non-Borderlands experience.
Yeah.
Nier Automata is getting a port to the Switch, which is good because that's a good game, and the more people.
Is this the first one?
Yes. Well, no. Technically, it's the second one, but it's the first one anybody cared about.
Right.
What was the first one called?
Nier.
Is this Nier?
Just Nier.
Okay.
It's a good game that more people should have the opportunity to be able to play, and since it's on the Switch, a lot of people will be able to play it.
Speaking of which, the Persona games, which
Yes.
have been a Sony exclusive for God knows how long.
And they are all tremendous and
Yeah.
great JRPGs you can lose hundreds of hours in.
Oh, yeah.
They have such a rewarding gameplay loop that is fun, and I would recommend them to almost anyone.
Yep. And now it makes sense why Joker is in Smash,
Yeah.
because traditionally they would only pick characters that have,
Well,
have
appeared on a Nintendo
their
console.
system at some point, and now he has. So there we go.
Yeah.
I think that was the
That's
big
pretty
one.
much the
Yeah.
gist of it.
I
Yeah.
mean, there was some Mario and Rabbids, but it looks more or less the same as the
Yeah.
other
Kind
one.
of does.
And, less spotlight on Ubisoft, the better.
Yeah.
Well, sure. Yeah.
I don't like the Rabbids. They're great value minions, and the minions were already bad.
Yep. I agree.
Even though I think the Rabbids were around before the Minions.
Yeah, that's
They
true.
were.
They predate the minions, but
They've been retroactively fit into
Yeah.
that mold.
I mean, they are.
Yeah.
They're chaotic,
and I guess
loud monster things.
the minions do it better, probably, if you like that sort of thing.
Well, get ready for the Toads to be the next minions, because Illumination is doing the Mario movie.
It'll either be Toads or Goombas or both.
Yeah, which is weird. Speaking of which, there's been an awful lot of talk about how Chris Pratt is doing a surprising new voice for Mario. Like, they keep threatening us with this new Mario voice.
Yeah, and how good it is. Well, first, the Illumination guy thought people were mad because Chris Pratt isn't Italian. And that's not. That's not why people don't like Chris Pratt voicing Mario. It's because he's Chris Pratt voicing Mario.
Because he's kind of a dink, and he has a normal guy voice.
Yeah.
He's not a voice actor.
He's not. Yeah, he's not known for different voices. Like you watch the Lego Movie or anything else he's done, it just sounds like him.
It sounds like Chris Pratt.
But yeah, they keep saying that he's got this voice that's going to blow you away that he does for Mario. And it's like, well,
No,
just show us
he's
then.
He's not.
Yeah.
though.
Just show us this amazing voice and just prove us all
He's been
wrong.
working for
please.
hours with Charles Martinet.
Yeah, who you could have just hired anyway.
Who's in the movie anyway?
Yeah.
He's in the movie anyway.
Or you could have just not made this movie at all.
Well, that's also true.
I'm more interested to see what Seth Rogen's going to do as Donkey Kong.
That's
going to be a good.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic.
I mean, I love all the casting except for Chris Pratt as Mario.
And you know what's weird to me? They keep saying, "Wow, his Mario voice is so crazy and out there, and you're not going to believe it." No one has said word one about his Garfield voice.
It's true.
Because remember, he's also the voice of Garfield.
They just announced that though.
No, it was a while.
That was a while ago. It was around
long
the same time as the Mario thing.
Was
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah. People made jokes about it.
I mean, here's the thing though. When was the last time you saw a good Garfield movie?
Oh, there hasn't been.
There hasn't been one.
Exactly.
It's never been done.
It's the made
Only
for TV
the-
movies about the Halloween
Yeah.
and stuff
And
like
the
that.
Christmas one.
Those are
Yeah.
those are okay.
Those are good.
I mean, Lorenzo Music is always Garfield.
Yeah.
Get somebody that can do an impression of that. I guess it's the only thing that's gonna work.
Listen, I love Bill Murray. He was sleepwalking through those Garfield
Oh
movies.
yeah,
What are you talking about? Bill Murray's been sleepwalking through his career the last, I don't know,
he agreed
10, 15 years.
He agreed to do it on accident. He thought it was a Coen Brothers movie, but it was written by a different Coen. Somebody who happened to have the last name Coen wrote it, and he thought it was a Coen Brothers movie after he had already agreed to do it.
It's ex-Cohen. The one
David didn't know. Then it would be funny.
It would be funny. Yeah.
But yeah, they keep saying that Chris Pratt said the voice is unlike anything you've heard in the games, which I
it's
don't
your
know
voice.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Guess what? It's going to sound like this. Hello, my name is Mario. It is I.
The plumber man, here to save the day.
Wahoo.
I guess you could say I'm a jump man.
Here we go. I am Mario.
Let's go.
That just happened. I was gonna say stuff like that. Those throwaway.
I don't know. I'm just imagining people cutting Mario clips with Andy Dwyer voice or clips
Andy
from
Dwyer, yeah.
yeah. like all the stupid ad lib he did on Parks and Rec.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Mario's going to start talking about little Sebastian a lot.
Little Sebastian, he loves that horse. Yeah.
That's the weird thing about that Mario and Rabbids. Where's Yoshi?
I don't know.
He's not in either one.
He's not.
They put Bowser in it before they put Yoshi in it.
Only enough room for one annoying animal type.
Yeah.
The rabbits to fill that slot.
Yeah. I'm surprised they haven't dug deeper into the Mario cast. They've revealed that they're adding Bowser with like it's a big deal that he joins up with Mario.
So of course he's going to join up with them.
It happens any Mario game that has more of a plot than Peach got kidnapped. Bowser ends up joining the good guy.
Them. Yeah.
Yeah, look at Bowser's Inside Story.
Any of those Bowser RPGs.
Yeah, any of the Mario RPG games that happens.
Yeah.
Even the original Mario RPG.
The original, yeah.
And it was a big deal then.
It was.
And then any Mario sports game. Which, by the way, I did not care for Mario Soccer. The new one.
The new one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never ended up getting it.
Yeah, I played the demo and I was like, I don't like this.
Hey, guess what? It's soccer. Who cares?
I like soccer. The game was
This is America.
It's just dry hockey.
True.
I will die on this hill.
Okay.
Soccer is dry hockey.
Okay, Letterkenny. All right.
With less sticks.
Yeah. Less sticks, less fights. It takes twice as long.
The game controls were needlessly complicated.
Yes. And they just need to make a baseball. Let's go.
Yeah. Well, we're actually at time, so let's go ahead and wrap things up for the week. You have been listening to Nerd Overload. Thank you very much for tuning in. You can find us each and every day over at nerdoverload.com.
You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and Patreon at Nerd Overload Now.
You can email us at staff@nerdoverload.com.
Once again, you can give us a call on that Nerd Overload hotline. The number's 586-372-8020. Leave a message and we will play it on the show like we did this week.
That's right. You can also find all of our back episodes on various podcast apps such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, and more. And finally, I'd like to thank David Pencil for the use of our intro and outro. You can find more of his stuff over at davidpencil.com. Did it in one breath. Thank you all for tuning in this week, and we will be back next week.
Peace out.